Right, so this is my third, or was it fourth attempt at doing this. Got interrupted in one of them. The other one I forgot to even just record the screen. So I was just talking into the mic and not actually recording what I was doing. So let's have another go at this. So, Auto Trader, what we're doing today is we're looking at the top 5 cars for first time drivers, and we're looking no more than 1500 quid. You know why? Because we're not looking at 68, 69, 19 plate, 20 plate cars, because we're not relying on rich parents. We're looking at budget, cheap cars, A to B cars, nothing more, nothing less. Okay? Now, the simple answer to this is, which car should I buy? You can watch this video if you want. If you like cars, you like this kind of stuff and money and that. Ford Fiesta. That's the simple answer. It's like strawberries and cream, peanut butter and jam, fish and chips, Alan Shearer. It's the go-to car. The Ford Fiesta. You have that car, you drive it, it will see you well. It will do A to B very nicely. So, right, this is where it went wrong. Last time I put in this postcode, for those that know, you know where that is. Didn't work. Let's choose another place. Let's choose this place here. Right, and then let's go Ford. Ford. Why isn't it liking it? Fiesta. Search. Here we go. Right, Ford Fiesta. I used to have one of these. Brilliant cars. I had the 1.4. Try to avoid the 1.25 you can. It doesn't have much power. But again, if you're not doing many motorway miles and stuff, it might actually be okay, because they will be cheap to insure. It comes in 2 types. So here, if you can see, you got the later type, facelift, which I believe was 06 onwards. Had these nice like bulb headlights. I believe they're Xenons, and they have slightly updated interior. The cheaper ones, cheaper ones? The one that was 02, 03 up to 05, they had a flat light like that. They're not brilliant, as in the lighting. Obviously, it's better on the newer ones. Tried to get 1.4. Let's see. I'll show you exactly why. So here we go. It's a Zetec Climate. It's quite a nice colour actually. Very nice colour. Quite a rare colour. There is a I'll tell you what. These cars, they look tiny on the outside. Inside they are huge. It is almost like a TARDIS. You can fit 4 people in there quite easily, and I mean 4 actual adults, not kids. Adults like 5'11", 6 foot. They will fit in there. The boot is huge. There is a problem though. If you look at this bit here, hang on, see if there's a better picture. Right, this bit here, the trim, it doesn't matter what Fiesta you look at. I'm surprised it's still on there. Probably stuck back on. The trim falls off. I don't know why the trim just falls off. Because they got these little tiny clips just for cheap, just stuck on with cheapy glue. It looks like Pritt stick. Or those hot glue sticks you got at school. The ones in like DT, and they just use that, and then that's it. 2 or 3 blobs, off you go. So yeah, other than that, honestly, they're really good cars, really spacious. The plastic on these isn't very nice. It's quite like awful, and it doesn't really suit the rest of the car, especially if you get the car in black. If you get the car in black, trust me, this plastic here is like a horrible grainy matte finish. In terms of interior, standard Fiesta, quite a chunky big steering wheel, but the steering itself is really direct and really good, and I still to this day maintain it's got really good steering feel, better than a lot of other cars, even newer cars. So Ford Fiesta, definitely one worth considering. 1 cup holder there. Seats aren't the most supportive, but they do the job. Speakers are actually decent. I was very surprised by the speakers. Standard speakers are actually okay. They're not that bad. They're not the best, but not the worst. I've been to some other cars which are supposedly more premium or step up, like a hatchback or a saloon, and the standard audio system in them, I'm like, hang on, this is awful compared to that old Fiesta I used to have. The glove box in them are huge, so you can put all your McDonald's wrappers and all that malarkey in. Yeah, that's about it, because let's be honest, you will go there. Right, running costs. The important bit. Insurance Group 10e, slightly higher. The 1.25 I believe is in a 4E or 6E group. Annual tax £165. On the 1.25 is £125. MPG, important. I'll be honest, combined you're probably looking about 40 to 45. I think I have done 52 miles per gallon on a long trip before, but that's about as high as I went. Again, you're not going to have a trip computer on these. You're just going to have to do the MPG in your head or use a calculator. So yeah, these cars are really, really good. Just make sure that they've had a cam belt change done, especially at this age. Check for rust, although rust isn't too much of a problem with these, but I'll still check for rust. Check the boot. Check the boot underneath them. There's no any like water ingress, no water leaks inside. Other than that, honestly, they're really good cars, really cheap cars. I would go for them. So yeah, there's that one. Next car on my list is, if you don't want to go for that, I would say go for a Toyota Yaris. Now, the reason to go for the Toyota Yaris is it's Japanese. It's definitely more refined. I used to have a friend who had one of these, and I must say, on the motorway, it was so much quieter. Try to get the manual, don't get the automatic. The automatic has a horrible CVT transmission, and it's not like the modern day CVTs, it's the older ones. They're not nice, and they do not suit smaller cars. Trust me, when you're going up hills, you really have to kick down, and it takes forever for that CVT to think, what am I? Am I a tyre? Am I a bread machine? No, wait, I'm a gearbox, and that's exactly how long it takes. So, get the manual. This one's got dings and stuff, but it doesn't matter. Again, it's a nice car. I want some interior shots. Come on. Where the interior shots at? Here we go. So, I mean, this isn't the best pictures. I don't know what he's going to sell with this. But as you can see, it doesn't have traditional dials. It has a digital speedo in the middle. Some people like that, some people don't. Personally, for me, I like proper dials in front of me. But it's nice and clear, and it does the job. Being a Toyota, it will be reliable as a toaster. Thing is, if it does go wrong, it will cost more than a Ford Fiesta. So that's about it, to be honest. And the running costs, as we see, annual tax 125, insurance group 5E. Then again, it is the 1 litre, not like a 1.4 like the other one. MPG, you can see on the screen, you're probably going to get about 50. So yeah, that's definitely worth considering. It's definitely more refined on the motorway. This is a 1 litre. It does come as a 1.3. Where's a 1.3? I want the newer shape 1.3. I know it's Cat S. Ignore the Cat S bit, because I know you can get one that's non-Cat S. Oh wow, look at that. That is a massive. That's a massive panel gap. Running costs. There we go. 120, 55. That's not right. Anyway, trust me on this. You can get them. No, that's too mute. That's awful. Right, next car on the list. We are talking this car. Now, I don't like this car. I'll be honest. I think it's a bit meh, but people seem to love them. Maybe because there's so many around. And to be honest, they are value for money. If you just want a car, if you want a box on wheels, this is it. And yeah, that's about it. This is it. So here we go. Corsa 1.4 Club air conditioning. Now this is a good thing, air conditioning. If you get the Corsa Life, they don't have air conditioning as standard. So make sure you try to get a club level. They look slightly nicer, and you get aircon. And this is another thing I recommend with these cars. Make sure you go for something that has one or two little, creature comforts. I know you shouldn't get something too complicated. However, get something with, something to look forward to. Because trust me, in the summer, especially if you've got a dark coloured car, it's going to absorb heat, it's going to get hot, and it's awful. Having aircon, honestly, is just, it's a blessing. Right, standard Vauxhall interior, nothing to write home about. I don't know why it's got stripes, looks like lemon drizzle cake. It's like someone's got, the icing and they've just had like an accident or something. Yeah, standard. The gearbox is made out of chocolate on these. But, they do the job. They're not fantastic drive. The engine sounds like someone's put cement in a washing machine and put it on a low speed. Because honestly, it just sounds so rough. But hey ho, if A to B is what you want, this is what you get. And running costs £165, and I think that's slightly more. That's slightly more than the Fiesta. Insurance group's lower. MPG, again, we're talking rough ballpark. It's roughly the same. I think real world, from what I know and from what I've experienced from friends and family in Vauxhalls, the petrol, the MPG for the equivalent Ford model, it tends to be lower, like for like. So Astra to Focus, Corsa to Fiesta, the Vauxhall variant tends to have lower MPG. So that's the third recommendation. Right, my fourth recommendation, you might laugh, is the K11 Micro. Now, let's go lowest to highest because I don't believe this. Now, these Micros, I kid you not, they last forever. They really do last forever. And oh, there's a 1.4 here. I was going to say go for 1 litre, 1.2. If you can get a 1.4, get a 1.4. And here you go, look, this person even says, this was my first car after a new driving licence. When I bought the car, I wasn't sure if it would run for a month, but it has lasted the whole year without giving me any trouble. I've taken it on motorways, driven it through all kinds of streets, and it's a perfectly working car. Even better than the car 10 times of its price. What? Oh, it's got parking sensors. Right, okay, what? How much is it? £4,000. Has he driven a £4,000 car? I don't think there's. I mean, don't get me wrong, these cars are indestructible. As long as you've got some oil and some water, these will keep running. I believe some of these don't even come with a rev counter because they don't. You just have to rev the. Try not to swear. You have to rev them a lot. So, yeah. And then to get anywhere, they're really cheap. No one cares. No one cares about them. It literally is. It's bus. Do you want to stop taking the bus? Yes. Micro. It's like a rank. If you want like a ranking or like an order, it's bus. I want to stop getting the bus and getting wet. Okay. Here you go. Micro. It's older. It's probably not as safe. Probably doesn't have as much creature comforts. Doesn't look as modern as a Fiesta. The Corsa, definitely the Corsa. Corsa's because it's like what, an 02. But this is 400 quid. Then again, you're probably going to have to spend about £1,000 to get a good one. But it'll see you through. So that is my third suggestion. No, fourth. Forgot. Last but not least is a German variant, the Volkswagen Polo. VW Polo. Now, I'm sometimes reluctant to recommend cheap German cars because of the associated cost. Because the thing is, you need to realise is that with these cars, yes, they have German reliability. They might be built solidly from a interior perspective and the doors, etc. But the consumable parts are expensive and they can be more complicated. The engines can be more complicated to get that extra MPG and so on and so forth. But these Polos are quite basic, so they should be okay. But don't make the mistake. Your average item like your brakes, your discs, your probably drum brakes at the rear on this, instead of discs at the back, that sort of stuff, your alternator, it will cost more than your equivalent Ford Fiesta. But let's look at this red one here. I don't know why you'd get a red one, maybe like that colour, that's your choice, but it's an 06. Looks, nice enough for first car. This picture's not loading, which is very nice. That one is. Again, nice size, decent boot. I mean, you can't really see much. There you go, look, decent boot. Can't complain. Rev counter, you know what, tells the engine temperature. I'll tell you what, the number of new cars I see that do not tell you the engine temperature, and it's blooming annoying. And the reason why is because they know the temperature goes regularly above 100, and they know people are going to be non-stop phoning the dealership saying, oh my engine's on fire, my engine's on fire, oh my engine's overheating, it's going to be on fire. It's like, no, it's fine, it's meant to operate at that temperature. 84,000 miles. Whoa, what have they done to that? That's not original, by the way, in case you didn't know. It's been messed around with. I mean, it might be good stereo, but it's not original. But yeah, as you can see, you know what, I love those seats. Those tartan cloth seats, I think they're called tartan cloth seats, are amazing, and that adds a bit of character to otherwise quite a drab interior. Only thing to worry about these really is the check engine light. You can have engine management issues with these, normally sensors, and sometimes they can be quite thirsty on fuel. Not fuel, sorry, oil. And if we look at the running costs, oh, that's quite a lot. £205 annual tax. That's more than the Fiesta. That's more than a Corsa. That's more than the Yaris. Yeah, I think that's the highest. Insurance group, sort of run the mill in the middle, 70. That's surprising. The 1.4 Fiesta technically comes under high insurance group, which does surprise me. MPG is actually lower than the Vauxhall Corsa 1.4, but I reckon you could actually achieve those figures in this Polo, whereas I don't think you'll be able to achieve that in the Corsa. I reckon they're all about the same. But yeah, as you can see, look, the reviews 4.5. They're decent cars. Just if they go wrong, don't expect it to be as cheap to replace the parts as it is for your mate's Ford Fiesta or Vauxhall Corsa. You know, just bear that in mind. But other than that, those are my top 5 cars. Number 1, Ford Fiesta. Number 2, Toyota Yaris. Number 3, I would go for, you know, I guess if you want to go older, Nissan Micra. To be honest, it's no order now, because I would still think number 1's Ford Fiesta. I'd Ford Fiesta, go for any of these, Toyota Yaris, Nissan Micra, Vauxhall Corsa or VW Polo, take your pick. Just test drive them, find the best one you find. Try not to spend too much money. I mean, it's your money, spend however much you want, but I would say try to limit how much you spend. Other than that, thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it, and please like, comment, subscribe, dislike it if you want. You know, every bit of constructive feedback helps, and I'll see you next time.